Yes, ma'am. See, this is the agile process. Can you please anyone tell me what is the sprint here? And part will be more questions which describe or explains. Yes, ma'am. Akshay means user story is nothing but a brief, okay, brief explanation of modules or features. And cheppandi. Features, F-E-A-T-U-R-E-S, features of a software is nothing but user story. Yes, ma. User modules, okay, software features. Yes, ma. Explains about software features is nothing but a user story. Now, sprint also we have seen. What is an epic, ma? What is an epic?
Collection of all user stories.
Folder. Yes, Suma. Actually, folder in general ga nenu compare chesi cheppanu. But in the technical interview, we have to say in software language. Okay. But in Scrum framework, we will be saying epic as, okay, list of all the user stories. List of all the user stories. You will be saying like this. Yes, my collection of user stories. Okay. That is called epic. Who is going to define these user stories and epic, ma? Who is going to collect these user stories and define the epic? Yes. Product owner. Product owner is the main person who collects the user stories from the client and creates as an epic, defined as an epic. Okay, so that's the person. Now, what is sprint plan meeting? Sprint plan meeting.
Meeting which conducted by product owner.
Yes, ma'am. A meeting which is conducted by product owner, PO, product manager will be there, and test manager will be there, test lead will be there. Okay, now only the seniors will be sit here, and they will discuss about, okay, what, ma'am? They will plan about the sprint. They will plan about the sprint here, please. That is called sprint plan meeting. In sprint plan meeting only, we will, okay, we will decide, we will assign, okay, we will assign the story points also. Story points, okay, to the user stories, right, ma? Story points kuda ikkade discuss chestar. Okay, na? They will review, okay, they will review the sprint also here itself. They will review the, what is it, ma? They will review the user stories, we'll say. They user stories also here in plan meeting. And they will plan about next sprint. They will plan about the next sprint. Means which user stories have to be assigned in the next sprint. They will plan accordingly. Okay, so these things will be planning in this sprint plan meeting. Okay, now in this one term came, what is the story point, please? What is the story point, ma? Story points means what, ma? What is the story point?
Rough estimation of time given by the developers and the QA team.
Yes, I correct, Kadama. Story point is nothing but the rough estimation about the sprint. How much duration you are assigning for a particular sprint, That is called story point. Yes, ma. Estimation. Estimating the duration of a particular sprint is nothing but a story point. Or you can also say assigning, okay, assigning points to the user stories is called a story point. Just speak. Okay, now. So based on what the story points are being assigned, ma'am? Based on what the story points are being assigned? Based on what? Okay, story points. Yes, ma, will get assigned. Means depends on the complexity of the user stories. Okay, it depends totally on the complexity. It depends totally on the complexity. of user stories. Okay, ma. That is the point here. Yes, ma. Now, Scrum meeting. Scrum meeting, ma. What is the Scrum meeting? Scrum meeting.
Meeting conducted by Scrum Master.
Stand-up meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This meeting is also called a stand-up call. Okay, or Scrum call. We'll say that. This meeting is conducted by whom? Project manager here. Or Scrum Master will say. And here, what we are discussing here, ma, in this meeting?
Status of project.
Yes, ma. We will be every member in the team. Every member in the team. Okay, have to report about work status to the project manager PM. Okay, so there is a meeting there. Okay, for that purpose only Scrum meeting will be conducted. What you are doing today, what we did yesterday, and are there any issues in your way? These points as it is will happen in Scrum meeting. Every member in the team, including the seniors, from senior onwards, will start. Okay, lead also will be there. Lead also have to report to the manager only, ma. Okay, he'll be asking, okay, what you are doing, what your team is doing. He'll be asking like this, what your team is doing. He will ask, he will question to the lead only. Okay, so that's why everyone have to report to the Scrum Master here, project manager here. Yes, ma'am, this is for Scrum meeting and a sprint retrospective meeting, ma'am. Retrospective meeting.
Meeting after every completion of sprint, end of the sprint.
Yes, ma'am, this meeting is conducted by, okay, the manager along with the team members will be there. This meeting will be conducted at the end of the sprint, at the end of every sprint. Starting lo kaadu ma. Okay na? Sprint ayye mundu ee meeting anedi conduct chestaru. Why this meeting ma? What is the purpose of this meeting? To discuss about the issues. At the end only, we will find after executing the functionalities, then only we can detect the defects. So when we will find means at the after execution chesina tarvata defects vastayi kabatti at the end of the sprint only we can come to know how many issues got fixed, how many issues are still open, why they are not being closed. Okay, these defects gurinchi manam ikkada ee meeting lo discuss chestaru. Sprint retrospective meeting means they are discussing about the issues only. Are the issues fixed or not? Are those functionalities working correctly or not? For that reason, this meeting is being conducted. Okay, so this is what mana agile process. This entire thing we will see in this entire thing comes under Scrum framework. Scrum framework. This entire Scrum framework we'll see in Jira. Where ma? Jira. We will see in Jira as it is what we are seeing. Okay, no need to get tension. In Jira practical, we will see how to create user story, how to create epic, okay, how to assign the story points, how to, sprint meetings kaadu, and retrospective meeting kaadu. Okay, how to start a sprint, how to start testing, we'll see everything in inside the Jira. Okay, so this is what agile process. Okay, so yes, ma'am. Now, what we'll discuss now? We'll discuss about the software testing levels, ma'am. Software testing methods and the levels. What all the methods are available in that methods? What all the levels are there? Okay, so there is a term called verification and there is another term called validation. We know that what is the verification? Verification is nothing but verifying what all the developing software is correct or not by the developers is called as verification, we said. Okay, Nama. And validation means it's a process of validating the developed application is correct or not is called validation. We know that. Now this verification only is called as a static testing. This verification process called as static testing, we said. And when validation is called as dynamic testing, we said. Why it is called as static testing? Why it is called as dynamic testing? Means static means what, my dear? Fixed. Okay. Here verifying that the developing project correct or not is nothing but a static testing. Okay, take the definition of verification and apply to the static testing. Static testing antene idema. Okay, na develop chestunna project correct kaada ani verify cheyadame static testing ani antaru. Who will perform the static testing? Developers. Why? What is the need of the static testing? To check whether their coding part, what they have written is correct or not. For that purpose, static testing will be conducted by the developers. Okay, na? So for that reason, static testing is there. The name is given as static means here fixed. Here verification is done based on what? By referring the requirement documents. At certain point of time, these requirement documents won't change. Okay, it will get fixed. Based on the requirement documents, okay, they are verifying the project coding here. So that's why it is called as static testing. Based on the requirement documents, they are verifying their logics is correct or not. So that's why it is named as static. At certain point of time, the requirement documents will get fixed here. Okay, na? So that's why it is called as static. Now here validation is dynamic testing ani enduku antunnaru. Here validation is being done on the functionalities here. What the coding they have written, we will execute and we'll check it here. So that's why it is called as dynamic testing. Okay, the functionalities can get changed here. So that's why it is called as what, my dynamic testing here. They given the reference like this. Okay, so that is called static testing. Verification is called as static testing. Validation is called as dynamic testing here. Now, what are the levels here? See, static testing is carried out. Static testing consists of two levels. One is reviews and walkthroughs. Yes, myself. Static testing. And what is the static testing? It's a process of verifying, developing project is correct or not, or right or not. Okay, nama? Is called static testing, we said. Static testing is carried out, okay? It is carried out through, okay? How many levels are there? It is carried out through. The first one is reviews. Reviews to manamu static testing perform chestam. And another one is walkthroughs. Ani antamma. Reviews and walkthroughs, please. What is the review here? Review is nothing but examining, examining our project related work. Project related work is called what, ma? Review ani antaru. What all the work you are doing now, that project related work examine cheste kanaka what emantaru review ani antaru. Okay, this review is two types. In general, it is two types. One is what is that, ma? Formal review. Formal review will be there. And the second one is what, ma? Informal review will be there. Formal review and informal review will be there. Formal review means a review which is conducted, means examining the project related work based on proper rules and regulations, of the company and the, rules and regulations, and based on proper documentations, based on the terms and conditions of the company, based on proper documentations, based on the requirements of the client. If you review like that, then that review is called as formal review. Formal review means reviewing, your project related work by following proper documentations, by following proper requirements, by following rules and regulations of the company. If you conduct that review is called as formal review. Informal review and the opposite. Without following any proper documentations, without following any proper requirements of the without following any terms and conditions of the company, directly jumping, okay, and reviewing the project related work, then it is called as informal review. Okay, so that's the difference between formal review and informal review without following any rules and regulations. Okay, now. So now, formal review ki best examples ga evi తీసుకున్నారంటే best examples for this formal review are audits, okay, inspections and audits example ga తీసుకున్నారు. Best example for a formal review is inspections, audits. Inspections, when it will perform the inspections at the time of working, right? At the time of working, inspections will perform. Inspections ఎలా perform చేస్తారు? Based on certain rules and regulations, they will perform the inspections, right? Okay, at the time of writing your competitive exams and BTech exams and degree exams, inspections will perform or not. At the time of the work, okay, inspections will happen. Okay, these inspections ఎలా perform చేస్తున్నారు? Without following any rules and regulations of the government, no, right? They are following proper conditions of the government and they are doing the inspections. So that's why formal review ki best examples కింద inspections, audits తీసుకున్నాం. Okay, audits ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతుంది? Audits after the completion of the work, right? Audits will perform after the completion of the entire work. Okay, at the March level. Okay, completion of the entire work. Okay, audits will perform. How the audits will be performed? Based on the given rules and regulations, terms and the conditions, audits will be performed here also. Okay, so in formal review kinda example kinda, for example, inspections, audits means they are following certain rules and regulations properly here. That type of review if you conduct means that is called as formal review. Okay, now this formal review in our software related, in our software, formal review will be done in different levels. What are those means? Management review. Yes, ma. Now, this formal review consists of different levels, ma. What are those levels means here? Management review. The first one is management review will be there. Management review. And then the technical review. Technical review. For every phase review will be there any meaning ikkada. Okay, ma? Technical review will be there. And the third one is, what is that, ma? Code review will be there. Code review will be there. Okay, these are the levels of formal review. One is, see here, management review, technical review, code review. Okay. What is this management review purpose? Management review, what they will do, ma? They will just monitor our work status here. Okay, this review will be conducted by high level people only, top level management people only, like product owner, project manager, business analyst. Okay, those top level people will involve in this management review. They will review our work here, is correct or not. And they will discuss about the further improvements in the work what we have done. Okay, that is called management review. How they are conducting management review here? By following certain terms and conditions of the company and the requirements. So that's why this management review is performed here. Okay, now technical review. Technical review means what, ma? After the completion of the design phase, during the design phase only, my technical team will get involved here. So technical review is conducted by technical team. To why this review is conducted means, why this review is there means to decide, okay, further which better tools can be used for the design purpose. Okay, are there any mistakes in the designed functionalities? Okay, are there any mistakes in the designed one? They will review it first of all. Okay, so that is called technical review. Okay, now code review. What all the code functionalities written by the programmer, they will also review their logics, what they have written. They will also review their logics, what they have written is correctly mentioned or not as per the given requirement. They will review it. So who will review it? The programmers, developers will review themselves. So that is called as code review. Okay, Nama. So management review, management people will be review our work. Is there any functionalities need to be added further or not? They will review it. After the technical review, after the code review, means what I'm saying means SDLC, how many phases? 10 phases. In every phase, a review should be happened. That's the meaning here. Planning review, planning phase, planning review should be there. Technical phase, the design phase, technical review should be there. Coding phase, code review is there. Okay. Why these many reviews, madam? Why these many reviews means so that we can release a quality one. So that we can release a quality software. Yes, ma, that is the reason here. Okay. How we are able to release the quality software means by finding. Okay, by finding. Okay, defects, mistakes. Okay, by finding mistakes in the early stage itself, early stage of software, early stage of a software life cycle, we'll say. That is the intention of a static testing. Overall static testing lo reviews undi kadama. Reviews oka purpose enti ante ma to find the mistakes in the early stages itself. Why? Because is there any mistakes in a requirement documents? We will review it. We can rectify then and there itself. After, you will go to the next phase, plan document. In the plan document, you will review the plan document. Okay, the person who is written those plan document, the person have to be review it, and the lead will be review that. Manager will get review that. Okay, is there any mistakes in that plan document? They will review it, so that documents are being carried out in other phases now. So that's why if you find mistakes in first only, okay, at early as possible only, then those mistakes cannot be forwarded in other phases, right? So that's why we are trying to find the mistakes in every phase here. For that reason, review is there. Review is compulsory. Finding the mistakes in each and every phase. Why? What is the need means? To find the mistakes as early as possible. So that at the time of testing, we can have less defects. So that last intention is, our goal is to produce a quality software. Why these many reviews, madam? And for every phase, these many reviews are there. Okay, why? What is the need means to find the mistakes in early stages itself, so that we can release the quality one. Okay, now. So that is the purpose of review. That is the purpose of static testing entirely. And what is that, ma? Another one is, this is what review. Okay, these many reviews are there. Another point is there, I will tell you that. Now, informal review. Informal review and without following any proper documentation, directly, okay, nama, I know these functionalities, I will test it. Review it. Review it. Okay, now that process is called informal review. Like monkey testing, it is called as monkey testing. Yes, ma, see here, informal review have written here, see. If a review is conducted without following any proper procedures, proper documentations, then those reviews are called as what, ma? Informal review. If a review is done by, with this, if a review is done by this informal, then what happens means that there may be chances of finding more defects at last. Okay, so that's why the walkthrough is nothing but a review can be done by any time and anyone. That is called walkthrough. It is basically a informal review. Informal review can also be walkthrough. Walkthrough is an informal review which is done, okay, without reviewing properly. Okay, without taking suggestions from your colleagues and without following any certain documentations. If your review is called as walkthrough. Okay, walkthrough comes under informal review. Okay. A step-by-step code reviewed by experts called walkthrough. Okay, without prior intimations, without prior meetings, proper meetings, without prior taking suggestions, without prior following any proper documentations. If a review is conducted on the project, then that type of review is called as walkthrough. Okay, informal review antene kadama, informal review ne ante ade anamata. Informal review ne emantunnama walkthroughs ani antunnam. Okay, walkthroughs cannot be suggested. Walkthroughs cannot be suggested in the industry. Ante informal review should not be done here. Why? Because we cannot find the defects properly. Okay, that's the thing here. Now, what is the objective of a static testing? See, this is the objective of a static testing. To find the defects in requirement phase, to find the defects in design phase, to identify the deviations in any process. Means at the last note I have mentioned, see, to detect the defects from all the phases. That is the static testing. What is the need of static testing? Means to find the defects in early stages of the software cycle. For that purpose, we will be conducting static testing, sir. So that we can release, our goal is to release a quality. That is the intention of static testing. Okay. This is what my static testing. Okay. I've said that static testing means this will be performed by verification. Static testing is also called what ma? Verification ani annam. Verification anagane, verification is going to do whom? Developers, right? We'll be keeping in mind, right? Verification will be done by developers only. Okay. Now in the interview, he asked in technical round, interview is asked this question. What is the question means? What is the role of testers in static testing? They ask. Yes. What is the role of testers in static testing? He asked. Static testing means, okay, who will do the static testing? We will keep in mind that developers only will do that static testing. Static testing means what? Verifying, right? Until review cheyadam. Avunama verifying means what? Review cheyadam kada. So, what is the role of here testers? Testers will get involved in static testing. Yes, ma. Not only the developers. What is the note point here, ma? Not only the developers. Okay, testers also. Okay, conduct static testing. Until reviews. Testers also will have the reviews. Okay, when we enter into the STLC, software testing life cycle, we have different phases like SDLC. SDLC lo phases ela unnayama? Requirements collecting, planning, design, coding, testing. Alage STLC lo kuda, software testing life cycle lo kuda, we have different phases. In each and every phase have to be reviewed. Each and every phase have to be reviewed. For testers also, documentations will be there. For testers also, documentations will be there. For testers also, documentations will be there. Yes, ma. We will also have to, okay, we will also have to review those documentations. What all the testing related documentations are there? What are those, madam? Test plan documentation, test scenarios documentations, test cases documentations, RTM documentations, okay, defect reports, okay, defect reports documentations. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఏం చేయాలి మా? రివ్యూ చేయాలి. So what is the role of testers in static testing? And I did my question no. At that time you need to say testers also have to review the testing related documentation, sir. What are those testing related documentations? And documentations names we need to say. Okay, nama. So that's why static testing will be conducted. చెప్పండి మా.
డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ మొత్తం.
ఎస్ మా, చెప్పండి సుమా.
డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ మొత్తం డెవలపర్స్ రాస్తారా మ్యామ్?
Project related, yes. You didn't listen the previous topic, nama. SDLC you didn't listen, right? So that's why. Documentations ante project ma development. Okay, documentations will be there, and testing related documentations also will be there. Documents will be there. So in that development related documents unnatuvanni project manager, leads, they will perform. Testing related documents ani testing related manager, testing related lead, they will get involved. Okay, seniors, testing related seniors. Okay, so that's the thing ma. In this question now you need to say we will also, testers also have to, okay, review their documentations parts. What are those documentations? It means these are the documentations. Still we are not discussed this documentation.
Static testing lo change avvada ma'am, fixed
Yes, kadama. Documentations at certain point of level, it will get fixed kadama. It won't be changing again and again like a coding. Okay, coding will get changed, right? Functionalities add చేసుకుంటా వెళ్ళొచ్చు కోడింగ్ లో. ఈ లాజిక్ అవ్వతే వేరే లాజిక్ అని చెప్పి మనం చేంజ్ చేసుకుంటా ఉండొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? whereas requirement documents will get fixed at certain point of level, right? If you want to add other requirements, you can add it other requirements. కానీ ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఏమైనా చేంజెస్ ఉంటే కనుక చేయొచ్చు, లేకపోతే కనుక it is going to fix at certain point of level. Whereas at the time of coding level, the functionalities will get changed, right? Frequent ka you can implement a number of logics over there. For one requirement, you will be going to implement with a number of logics over there. That's why it is called as dynamic. Okay, Nama. So yes, ma'am. So this is what our static testing. Static testing is carried out through reviews and walkthroughs. Review is nothing but examining your project related work, correct or not? Okay, that is called review. And walkthrough is a informal review. Yes, ma'am. This is what our static testing. Out in the static testing, ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. Any doubt in this, ma'am? Now coming to what, ma'am? Dynamic testing. RTM. Yes, Anand Sai, we didn't discuss still. Okay. That's why I told you, documentations, testing related documentations, మనం ఇంకా ఏది డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు. RTM కాదు, ఇవన్నీ గురించి మనం ఏం డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు ఇంకా. We'll discuss it at the time of STLC. We need to start the STLC. At the time of STLC, these we'll see entirely clearly. Okay. Requirement traceability matrix. Requirement traceability. Okay, matrix ani antamu. Yes, ma'am. Find it, ma. The question is clear here. The answer is clear here, ma. About static testing. Can we move to another method, ma? Now static testing afterwards. Dynamic testing is there. Can we move or not? Yes. Yes, ma. Any doubt? Avinash, Balakishan, Surekha, Kalyani. Okay. Yes, ma. We'll see now dynamic testing. Dynamic testing complete avadu. Okay, na? Why? Because from dynamic testing only our testers work will begin. Our testers work will begin from dynamic testing. From the system testing onwards clearly. Okay. From one part of white box testing nunchi start avutundi. Yes, ma. We will see now. What is dynamic testing? You know, right? The validation. Okay. Dynamic testing is the process of validating. It's the process of validating. See here. Dynamic testing, ekkada mention chesamma. Ikkada definition. It's the process of validating developed application is correct or not is called dynamic testing, sir. You will say that. Okay. Now, dynamic testing is carried out through what are the methods? Three methods. Dynamic testing is carried out through three methods. What are those? White box testing, black box testing, gray box testing. These are the three methods available in this dynamic testing. First one is white box testing. White box testing is nothing. Once the coding is completed, before handovering the code part are the functionalities. Once the coding is completed, before handovering those functionalities to the testing team people, the developer or the programmer, they will check what they have written, the logics is correct or not. And they will check all the requirements are covered or not. What all the client requirements is given. Are those requirements covered properly or not in their logics? They will check it. That is called white box testing. Read it now, definition, ma. After coding, before start QA activities, means testing activities. Testing conducted on source code by whom? Programmer, developer only. White box testing will be carried out by developer only, ma, not the testers. Okay? White box testing will be carried out by who? Programmer and a developer. Why they are doing this white box testing means to ensure the code coverage. Code coverage means what all the coding they have written, what all the logic they have implemented, are those covered based on the requirements or not? Are they implemented those logics based on the requirement or not? All the requirements, did we covered it 100% or not? They will check it. Okay, that process is called white box testing. Okay, no, that process is called what, ma? White box testing. White box testing means developer check cheyadam their logics, what they have implemented. Did they covered all the requirements or not? Is those logics working as per the requirement or not? They will verify it once. They will check it once. That is called as white box testing. Okay. So this white box testing is done by entirely developers. Okay. This white box testing consists of two levels. One is unit testing and the another one is integration testing. Unit testing, integration testing. Okay. So what is this unit testing now? Unit testing means how the developers are checking here, that's it. In unit testing, the developers are checking one by one module, one after the other. Okay, now they will take a single component. A single component means single module of a software, and they will check all the core logics, what they have written. Is those logics covered or not as per the requirement? They will verify it. And then if the module is satisfied what the requirement is given, then they will check other module. Means at a time, if they are going to check one module at a time. They are going to check one module at a time. That is called unit testing. Unit means a single, okay, nama, single component. Taking single component at a time is called unit testing. Who is going to perform this unit testing? Testers, huh? No, ma. Developers are going to perform this unit testing here. Testers won't involve in unit testing. In unit testing, what they are checking? They are checking the logics, what they have written. They are checking each functionalities, each requirements, coding part here. So coding part comes under developers, not the testers. Okay. So unit means here single component or module of a software. So conducting testing on single component or a single module of a software is nothing but unit testing. Unit anagane single module. Okay, na? So while performing this unit testing, what the developers are following, whether they have properly covered or not those logics. To verify that, the programmers are following some technique. Simple emadi. White box testing technique ani antaru. What is the technique name is? White box testing technique, we will say. What is that white box testing technique is? How the developers are testing their code part, logic part means they are checking conditions covered properly or not. In the logics, they will be mentioning so and so conditions. If conditions, switch, if else conditions. Okay, na based switch conditions. Okay, so what all the requirement based, they have mentioned the conditions. Are those conditions working properly or not? They will check. Are those conditions covered 100% or not based on the given requirement? They will check. After that, they will move to the loops. If they have implemented any loops in their logics, they will check all those loops properly covered or not based on the requirements. And path coverages means the navigations, URLs. Path coverages means here the URLs they will check here. And mutation coverages here. Mutation means, here I have written, see here. Mutation coverage means they will check both valid and invalid inputs to check the code coverage here. What is that meaning, madam? Okay, checking a functionality with both valid and invalid inputs is called as mutation coverage in terms of a developers, in terms of a programmer side. Okay, madam, why to check this? Why the developers are checking this means who is going to write the error messages? Who is going to write the error messages? Errors will come when? Invalid. When we pass, okay, invalid. Yes, data. 1 minute, Okay, what I'm telling, So when we pass invalid data, then only errors will come. Errors will display or not, Errors will get display, right? So who is going to write this error messages? Testers, no ma, developers only. To write the error messages, what type of error messages they are going to write to test that error messages they are properly covered or not. Those error messages, they will check the functionality by passing with the invalid data. Okay, accordingly, they will be writing the error messages. Okay, to check those error messages they have properly written or not. Okay, they will pass invalid data into that functionality and they will check it. Not like a tester, they will test here. As per the programmer level, based on the error messages purpose, they will be checking your functionality with invalid data. That's it. Okay. So when you pass invalid username, immediately at the bottom of that text box, you will get one message, error message, invalid username. Who is written that code? Developers written that code. Okay, they will check that. Okay, so that is called mutation coverage. That is called checking a functionality with a valid and invalid inputs so that they can check whether all the error messages properly covered or not. Okay, now, so this is called white box testing technique. This is followed by programmers, not the testers here. This technique is followed by programmers. They are checking all the conditions covered or not. They are checking whether loops, paths, mutations are properly covered or not in the written logics, in the written coding part. Okay. Check this, programmers, they are checking. At the time of when? At which testing? Unit testing. At the time of unit testing, they are following this. They are checking these things. That logics in their coding functional, in their coding part. Okay, so this is what unit testing. Unit testing means checking a single component or single module of a software is nothing but a unit testing, sir. You need to say. So who is going to perform this unit testing means developers are going to perform this unit testing, sir. You need to say. Okay, Nama. So fine, right? Up to this, any doubt, ma? Yes, ma. Up to this, any doubt, ma? Unit testing is done. Yes. Any doubt in unit testing, ma? Am I audible? Avinash, Balakishan, Rekha, Suma, Sai, Sadiq, Venu, Kalyani, Ramya, right, ma? Yeah, ma'am. Venu, yes. Any doubt, ma? Ajay, Supriya, Suma, Rakesh. Yes.
No, madam, it's clear, madam.
Okay.
మ్యామ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ సహా చెప్తారా మ్యామ్ నెక్స్ట్ నుంచి?
Yes, ma, sure. Okay, na developers point of view కొరకు మనము చెప్పలేము. Testing point of view, whenever practical comes, then we will have the web applications. No need to get tension.
ఓకే మ్యామ్,
Still we are in the basics only. Yes, ma'am.
మ్యామ్ బ్యాకప్ క్లాస్ ఫ్రైడేనా మ్యామ్?
Bhargavi. At Friday, I will take Bhargavi.
ఓకే మ్యామ్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
At Friday.
ఫ్రైడే ఏంటి మ్యామ్? ఫ్రైడే అంటున్నారు.
Friday, Srinivas. A backup, I will take Srinivas. Backup means the students who are joined lately, no, for the students.
ఓకే లేట్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి మనకి క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది, మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు చెప్తారండి. ఓకే అండి. ఓకే మేడం అర్థం.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, madam.
On Friday, if you don't want already listen, students will be there, na. For them, you no need to attend on Friday. I will take Friday backup. Those who need backup, you can attend on. Yes, ma'am.
అవసరం అయితే మేము కూడా అటెండ్ అవ్వచ్చు మేడం.
Yes, ma'am. Your wish. If you want to listen again, means you can.
సరే మేడం, థ్యాంక్స్ మ్యామ్.
No.
అయిపోయింది మేడం క్లాస్. క్లోజ్ ఇట్ మేడం.
1 minute, ma'am. Now integration testing means what, ma? Unit testing after another level is there now in white box testing. That is that is integration testing. What is this integration testing means? Combining. Integration means what, ma? Combining. Once the coding part is completed and once the unit testing is completed, okay, unit testing kuda complete avvali. After that, the developers are going to combine. Yes, my developers are going to combine all the source code units. all the source code units, and what they are doing, what they are testing there. Combine chesina tarvata what they are testing means here they are checking the interaction between the modules. They are checking the flow between the modules is correct or not. That is called integration testing. The flow means we are checking the paths here from one module to another module. For example, registration module is there. From registration, where the user have to navigate. After registration successful, which page you need to enter? User have to enter into the login page. After login successfully, login button click chayagana, which page the user have to enter? Application. In the application, clicking opening correctly. From one module to another module, if you check the flow, then it is called as integration testing. Yes, ma'am. First of all, we need to check the modules so then only we can understand the flow between the modules. ఒక మాడ్యూల్ నుంచి ఇంకో మాడ్యూల్ కి ఎలా ఫ్లో ఉంది అని చెప్పి ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ రాగానే టెస్టింగ్ చేయమని అసైన్ చేసేయారు. You will be assigned 24 hours of time. At that time, they will ask you to check the flow between the modules. Flow means navigations between the modules from one module to another module. Okay, so when you are clicking something, at that which page is going to open? Which page it is going to open? Is it that page only based on the requirement? That page only it is going to open or not? You need to check. Navigations in general ga cheppalante integration testing means checking the navigations between one module to another module is correctly maintained or not is called integration testing. For example, e-commerce applications, so many are there. Take any web application, okay, any e-commerce application. When you are selecting a men module, okay, in that men related subcategories, submodules are display outai. In that, if you select any accessories, then accessories page only have to open, not the footwear related page, not the other page should get open. Okay, that is called maintaining the proper flow between the modules, maintaining proper navigation between the modules. That if you check, it is called as integration testing. Okay, Nama. This integration testing, see here, read the sentence here. Once the unit testing is completed, developers will integrate, means what? Combine all the source code units until every module they will combine and check the interactions, means the flow, means the navigations between all the modules. Is it working properly or not? That is called integration testing. Types of integration testing are two types: incremental integration testing, non-incremental integration testing. This we will see in tomorrow's class. Why? Because it will take time to explain this. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay? Anything? Fine, right, ma'am? So up to this, okay, I will end the class. Okay, at 6 o'clock I have another class. Okay, ma'am. And I will forward the notes.